How does this thing work again? Hello. It's been a while. I thought we were overdue another episode of Cooking with Jake. One of my favourite meals growing up was mince and dumplings, and this is a meal that hasn't really made its way outside of the northeast very much. So a lot of people who I speak to don't know what I'm talking about. But it's quite a simple meal. I've never tried to make it before, despite it being my favourite meal and having lived in London for 5 years now. But I used to have it at home growing up. It's a very warming, good to eat in winter type meal. So since winter is fast approaching, I thought it was the perfect time to try to make it. So as always, I've been to Sainsbury's and I've bought everything that I think I need. The dumplings in this are made from suet. I'm not 100% sure what suet is really. It's something made from fat, and you can get beef suet or vegetable suet. So I've gone for the vegetable one. And the mince. The rest is basically just vegetables. I like the retro packaging that this brand has. First I'm going to make the dumplings because it's just like dough that you make, and then they can sit for a while I make the rest of the meal. And helpfully it has the recipe on the back of the packet here. This is one of those recipes that doesn't tell you how many people it serves, but it does say it makes 8 dumplings. I'll make half of the amount, I guess. 4 seems reasonable. So I want 50 grams of self-raising flour. And then 25 grams of this suet. Oh, it's like little pellets. I really didn't know what to expect from this. But I guess I just put them in. And then a pinch of salt and cold water. Approximately 5 tablespoons are enough to make a firm dough. I prefer if they just told me exactly how much to put in. The recipes on the internet add other things to the dough. This is like the most basic recipe possible. I wanted to get some parsley, but Sainsbury's didn't have any. So this is turning into a dough. It doesn't look like much. This is a really tiny amount. But I guess since it's self-raising flour, they're going to get bigger when they go in the oven. So that the idea here is that we then fry some mince with gravy basically, and then put the dumplings on top and put the whole thing in the oven for about half an hour. One thing that I've made quite a few times over the last few months is pizza dough, and I feel like I've just about got the hang of that one. Maybe I can make an episode of Cooking with Jake where I actually do something well for once. Probably don't need to do much really. This has turned into a dough. I can separate this into little balls and we can see how they turn out at the end. I'm going to follow the Hairy Bikers recipe for this. There really aren't many recipes or much information at all about this on the internet. Like I said, it's not a particularly well-known meal, but it's just so simple and so good. Right now, I need to chop the onion. Now my usual struggle of chopping vegetables and never really remembering how to do it. I got this comically large knife. It's a bit big. I really should get a smaller version of this one. Which way do I want to cut this if I'm going to just use half of it? I guess this way? Oh, it's so hard to peel. And which side do I cut from? Why can I never remember any of this stuff? I'm going to chop that bit off. I hope that was right. Do I still want the greeny bit? Or was that something that should have been peeled off? Is the big knife good for this? I'm gonna chop my fingers off. Oh, my eyes. Oh god, really make my eyes stink. This is what sliced means. Is this slicing in the right direction? I can't see. That was more of a wedge than a slice, I think. I'm quite scared of this big knife. Hopefully this is what sliced onion is supposed to be. I bought some celery. I wish it came in smaller packs. I think I discovered in one of these previous videos that I don't actually like celery. Oh, it says peeled. What does peeled mean in the context of a celery stick? I don't think I understand how much I should be peeling. Surely I could just do this forever. Is this necessary? Who knows? Well, probably all of you, but not me. I think that'll do. I'm just going to ignore the problem of the middle bit. What if I chop it in half this way? Then I can get at this bit. That already feels like enough celery. Also want a carrot. Now the carrot's supposed to be diced. How does one dice a carrot? Right, I think what I'm going to do for this one, cut it down the middle, and hopefully not cut my fingers along with it, and then cut them again lengthwise, and then cut them like this. Alright, diced carrot. And finally the garlic. I already had this garlic. I don't know how to tell when garlic is too old to use, but this should be fine. Just gonna do this, just gonna mash it with a knife. Carrot mixed in with that, never mind. Got my casserole dish ready. This has been in for about 15 minutes now. I think it's time to add the mince. Smells nice. Got 5% fat Irish beef mince. While this is on, I'm going to boil water ready for the beef stock. The onions have gone a horrible colour from the beef. I thought they were meant to be like golden brown, but I've got sort of muddy grey onion. This Hairy Biker's recipe adds a tin of chopped tomatoes, or in my case half a tin, which is an odd addition I think to this, so I might put a little bit of the tin in, but not as much as they maybe recommend. I don't want it just to be like a tomatoey sauce. That seems wrong to go with vegetables and gravy. So, I think we want about a tablespoonful of tomato puree. Again, the tomato is strange to me, but whatever. About 175 millilitres of beef stock here. Let's add some chopped tomatoes. And the red wine, which I poured out earlier. Okay, I'm going to let this simmer for 20 minutes, and while it's doing that, I'm going to peel and chop potato and some veg, which I'll have alongside this at the end. This has been simmering for about 20 minutes now. The oven is heated. I think it might be time to put the dumplings on top and get it in. The rest I'll maybe freeze for next time. So then we've got the dumpling mix, and then just place it on top. I'm not sure how much these are going to rise and how much bigger they'll get in the oven. I'll find out in the next 20 minutes. Okay, I'll put the lid on and get them in the oven. It's not just the vegetables to do, I've got the potatoes in. How are the dumplings looking? They're not really rising very much. I expected more. I was never a huge fan of mash until I realised you could just add loads of butter and milk and salt until it tasted good. They're supposed to be like crusty on the outside. Yeah, I think they are. They seem like about the right consistency. They didn't go as big as I expected them to. Not sure why. Got no insight to offer there. This looks okay. Alright, let's see how these dumplings taste. Mint is just mint. Very tomatoey. I think personally I prefer it without tomato. But not bad, tastes pretty good. The dumplings are very dense. I could have done with them rising more. I'm just not sure how to achieve that. Overall though, I will say this is a success. If you've got any tips, suggestions, you want to tell me what I've done wrong, please leave a comment. I'm sure you'll all have plenty to say. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.